So it's 970 days from today till 13th June 2025. And also, fun fact, 13th June 2025 is a Friday. So 3 days whole concert is what we're coming back with, is what I'm convinced. Nobody can change my mind.
Someone was like, if you sleep for 12 hours every day, then it's half the time. So instead of 2.5 years, you're waiting for like 1.75.
Hi, we are.
Nuna talk.
I'm Zara, and wow, cannot believe that almost 30 episodes later we're at our season finale.
I'm Sophia, and I cannot believe that we have finally, after 4 years, have a consensus on BTS's military enlistment, which is happening. Like, Jin is going after October. That's in 3 weeks. Ah!
Crazy. But before we get into all of that and talking about the Busan concert and all of our many, many feelings about that, remember to like our video right now and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. This is our season finale, but we will be back very soon after a very, very, very short hiatus. And in the meanwhile, you can continue to follow us on Instagram at NoonaTalk, where we will continue posting things like
And we have a giveaway happening for all your armies out there to cheer up. Woo! This is my emotional
woo.
support Hoya toy. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, any other podcast, hi, this is the season finale. But you can go back and check out all our other podcast episodes. You can come to our YouTube channel. You can say hi to us here. And of course, check out our Instagram giveaway. He'll be
The
back very
season
soon.
two.
We are hiatus.
Yeah.
We will be doing stuff at the end of the year, probably doing awards and
Yeah,
stuff.
we can't
And
let Mama go by without having an entire episode dedicated to it. So we will be back by
true,
then.
true. And we'll still be doing reactions to comebacks if we find something that we like. But yeah, let's talk about it. What are we talking about today?
Let's is it yeah, I think we did start off our episode thinking that we would only talk about the concert because nothing else was there to talk about. And Bridget was like, here is announcement.
Yeah, so we planned on. So I had watched the concert on the day, like live when it came out. Zara missed it because she was doing a Samunori performance. If you haven't checked that out, check
Only
out our
legends perform on
Instagram.
15th October, okay? All legends perform on
All
15th
right,
of
all
October.
right. And like, okay, first thoughts. What were your first thoughts when you heard I called you, right? So immediately, so I'll tell
Right,
you what
yeah.
happened with me is that I was on Twitter and I didn't even read anything. I just read like five people's tweets. One was like, oh, the other person was like, it's happening. And the third person was like, oh, it's finally here. And it sounded so ominous. And I just knew. So immediately
Hmm.
I called you. And while I was calling you, I started looking for sources because I was like, where do we know this? So what was
Yeah, no,
your
I think the minute
experience?
you said Jin's going to the military, my heart dropped. It's something that we've known. We've always known coming into this. You know, both of us have been armies for several years for now, and this has been such a recurring conversation. We knew it was happening. It was just a matter of when, and I think that now a lot of like how.
When?
Honestly, reading the announcement made a world of difference for me. The way
Yeah,
that they worded it, the
same.
fact that they said, they gave 2025, even though that's not necessarily a definite amount of time, like when in 2025 or anything like that, it does give
Hmm.
something to look forward to. It's not that
Yeah.
far away. And then we sat and back counted from 2025 to what is 18 months before, and which roughly comes
Yeah.
out to like next November, like exactly a year from now. Um,
Hmm.
so that means most of the members are going to be gone by this time next year.
And I think this is such a powerful move on their behalf where they are rejecting whatever part of extension that they have. Like Jin is applying to reject the extension and then just doing it on their own. Because we know the government has just been like playing them like strings.
It's been so wishy-washy for
So long.
years.
It's been
Like I
three,
know we
four
are complaining
years.
it, but like complaining about it, but for them, imagine they're like first person. They've been waiting for like concrete answers for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, I think, and just the fact that the way it was worded was kind of like they'll kind of pick and choose how they want to go, but like there is a
Hmm.
timeline, but then it's still like on them. It's not like a same day everyone's gonna go. But also
Yeah.
in the investors brief that they sent out to all the investors, they did mention that the first half of next year is going to be solely focused on solo projects, and they do have a lot of pre-filmed content as well as a new communication service. We don't know about that, but like just little things, even to the investors and to us, they do matter.
It
So
does matter,
overall,
and more importantly, I think than the quarter one is that if Jin is going in October, that means the song is coming out in like 2 weeks.
so I think, yeah. I
Crazy.
mean, of course, when they will go, we will be sad, but I think it's not as harsh. Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's
Okay.
that. I mean, Apo Bangpo, am I right?
In this for life. I mean, I think we really are. My phone
Yeah, I
is
think
because of them. Yeah, my
I have a
nails
tattoo
are the
like.
same color. Like exactly same.
Yeah.
I own at this point 10 of their albums. Like it's yeah, I have like a Murakami flower. I have a huge Mang head. There's no way they're getting rid of
Hmm,
me. Not this easily.
that's true.
Like they need to go out. I was gonna say they need to go out and murder somebody, but even then, I'm pretty sure they'd have their reasons.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool that they went out with a bang because we did
Yeah.
just watch the concert. And I think that if there's no better way to like end your 10-year chapter one of the career run kind of a thing.
So it's time to get down to the meat of this sandwich. Let's get into it. Yeah. Bro, when I say, like, I kept delaying watching it again, like, not watching it for you to watch it again, because I was so afraid of how I would be. And we just finished watching it. Um, so I haven't recovered. I haven't processed new. I'm on a very shallow level of like, yeah, this is fine. I'm okay. I'm not. Spoiler alert.
So they start with mic drop. First of all, what a power move. Like, if
No,
there's
no,
a
no.
power move,
I
then
know
it's that.
I know that you think it's. I think, how dare you? How dare you walk in and you're the first song straight out of the gate dressed like that? All of you came out doing mic drop. Like, sir, please have some dignity for, no, sorry, respect for my like sanity. The
Mic
big
drop
no.
live band performance,
Oh,
like, oh my god.
and the thing is, at this point, because of like fact and everything, we knew that Run BTS was going to be performed, but the
Yeah.
way it was performed,
What the
the
way?
choreography,
We weren't ready.
nobody was ready. And honestly, I'm glad they did mic drop before Run. Like, I think if they would have opened with Run, I
Warm
would
up
have
ho
had
gaya
to die.
thoda.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was a little more prepared. And the fact that, you're right, the fact that he didn't drop the mic, held it, and then just went,
And
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
like, what's happening? And he's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
And also, this was something that surprised me, and I have like seen this like multiple times now. In the actual recording, it sounds like Hobie saying "run, run," but it's Yoongi who did it in the live version.
Seriously, like Cookie was dancing like rent was still due. Like he was still whatever 16 and like एक कमरे के मकान में रह रहे हैं पैसे नहीं है चिकन ब्रेस्ट खानी पड़
Yeah,
रही है like that
I feel
energy.
like yeah.
And then Run BTS going into Run the song. Like I think it was just clever, and it kind of like evened out the energy because from mic drop to Run it became super. And that ending part in Run, a lot of the formations were really cool. Like when Jimin did the bike sequence.
Hmm.
But yeah, oh my god, the way women just turned to each other and hugged each other. It was so precious. Like I couldn't not look at it. It was too precious.
Sure, precious. That's the word for it.
It really was because he just turns to him and it's just like this huge smile on his face, like joy, relief. I don't know what those emotions are, and then it's just
Save Me is such an iconic song, and I love it, and I love that they do it. And I think I've really enjoyed this pattern, and I've only sort of noticed it in more recent performances, say in the last maybe 2 years, where they walk around during the verse but come back to do the chorus and performance, like the
for the
choreo for the chorus.
chorus. Yeah.
And I think with Save Me, it works really well because there's just so much
Yeah.
nostalgia connected to the performance itself.
Two vocal line songs with Zero O'Clock and Butterfly prologue version. How did you like that?
I think my only problem was with the costumes. I'm like, sir, you started like this costume for this sort of particular set list, and that was completely fine for like run and mic drop. But for them to, you can't dress like that and be singing sincere songs. Like that can't be the thing. And I know at some point Cookie did sort of
And
like
you were just
cover
being
his jacket up.
slutty.
Yeah, yeah. Like I know Cookie did like sort of pull his clothes together, but it really didn't like it just takes me out of it very hard. But I did enjoy how they were sort of placed at these like points on the stage where it was to like recall
Yeah,
old memories, and it was very well done. Like stage production wise, they never flop, but this was
was
really well
so
done.
good.
And
Yeah, and also vocally, they sounded so good. Like all of them sounded incredible. But I told you literally while the performance was going on, Jin sounded incredible. Like I don't know. So Jin,
yeah,
I think you might have missed that meant, but he talked about it where he was actually he had a bad throat. He had a bad throat for about 2 weeks, and he's like for the past 2 weeks, I've literally just lived in the ENT's office. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't done anything, but it was so nice. I think Butterfly Prologue version was just such a good choice. It sounded so the voices, because we've heard it such a long time ago and we haven't heard like new Bangtan sing this, and we
especially
know how
yeah,
their
with that
voices have.
they skilled up. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that they did Cypher Part 3. I think the fact that like I know June built it up to this entire thing where he was like last time we're retiring the song and everything. Um, but sir, again, like you can't be sincere about these songs. That's not how it works.
Yeah, oh my god, the way, okay, great time to retire, whatever, you're retiring it, that's fine. But the way you retired it, like, the energy was off the charts. Like, if you thought Microp or whatever, Run Bulletproof had like energy, this was crazy. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened. And even, oh, like, we got our first live audience
audience.
performance, and it was lit AF. But like the
And I do think
so
it's really amazing that
impactful.
the both the rap line songs that were performed had the best Hobie verses. Like those are the best Hobie verses. Like
100%.
Cypher Part 3 Hobie verse, like
Yeah.
flawless. Cannot ever point it out and be like, no, not my fave. Like it is top three. Both of them are my top
Hmm.
three.
Yeah. And the stage production when they changed it to Jack in the Box background for Hobie. And then so in Cypher Part 3, you might not have noticed it because you were listening to it for the first time, but he switched up his last verse to and switched it with the intro verse to more.
Oh, I didn't. I really
Like
didn't pay attention.
yeah, like the whole swimming with the beat, like that entire part, he took it and he, yeah, but you wouldn't notice it. To me, it just sounded something different, but I didn't realize what it was until like someone like figured it out later.
Mm. It if you have watched the All Force One performances, it gave me very strong All Force One throwback, which was also just
Hmm.
very raw and energetic and just such an
Raw energy,
amazing
yeah.
display of rap lines
Hmm.
performance ability all the way back then. All Force One was 2015.
We got our serotonin mix, as I like to call it. Dynamite Boy with Love and Butter.
I loved all of
Hotness.
it. I think they did this in all the PTDs as well. This was the transition one that they did.
Hmm.
I feel like I did miss there was a dance break that they did in the middle in PTD between
Yeah,
Dynamite and
I
Boy with
think,
Love. I think the middle, right? Like the middle set of your set list is such a difficult thing to understand. Like how do you
yeah,
maintain energy because
pace
you
it.
yourself can't get
Hmm.
tired and all of that. So I think this works really well. There's such happy
Yeah.
songs and there's no fun.
It really is.
I know you call
And
it the
they always wear
serotonin
like pastel.
segment.
Yeah. So after I think the serotonin set list, we got Mars City, which I love because why not? They
No,
perform
and
it
also
every
it
time they're
makes
in
sense, right? That
Busan.
yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
so much of it is about Busan and everything and Daegu. Like it's such an important thing to say it when you're in Busan.
To them, yeah. Like the choruses, Busan Padai. Say la 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 la. It is also arguably my favorite la 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 in a BTS song. Dope,
Marketing
fire, and
dope,
idol
fire and
back to back.
idol.
Um,
I mean, the
like
energy, the
when
way,
June was just sweat.
yeah. He was from a very long time before. He is my sweaty chingu. I understand him. But these, um, but no, I'm like, that's such a great segment, especially because there's not, iconic. They're iconic
Hmm.
songs. Like, you can be a baby army, you can be an old
Iconic,
army.
energetic.
Yeah, everybody knows these songs. Everybody knows these songs. Like, it's just such a great way to
Yeah.
hone it in. I mean, I know there's still
Pump it
humble
up.
idiots who introduce themselves in their opening meant at their own concert. Like, sir, we obviously know who you are. Like, my mother knows you by name now. But like, it's crazy. But then they come in and do these like important songs of theirs. It's such a great thing to have.
Hmm.
I do
Yeah, and like the
wish.
energy just kept going because it was like
Huh.
after I think after Fire, you were also like oh, and I was like oh, and then they started Idol, and we're like what the hell? How are you? And they did like Young Forever. Going into For Youth, the minute they did Young Forever, in my mind I was like, of course, it's gonna transition into For Youth, which was wise.
हाँ no, I feel like my only thing is बहुत ज्यादा emo हो गया, like ज्यादा sentimental हो गया, like you
This
could have
is
just picked.
it was the time to be sentimental. Abhi nahi to kab.
I know what you mean. I just feel like it's a little too much because then it went on to Spring Day as well, and that was like the sad trilogy,
In Spring
the
Day
sadness trilogy.
in the train
Oh,
ka
in the
dabba.
carriage as well. Imagine, like,
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough to deal with that.
Yeah. So basically Yoongi got super emo and he like started looking out of the window, except the window was looking into Ami. So someone from the audience like made an entire fan cam of him and he's just like, yeah. So final thoughts about the concert.
Okay, I was just gonna get like really emo anyway. I'm so glad it happened. I think I'm never going to forgive Interpark for not letting me sign in that day. Um, because not just honestly, it's not just about the fact that the concert itself I missed out on. It just feels like that entire just the last 2 3 weeks have just been dedicated to making the entire country Bora, and I'm so mad that I missed out on all of it.
Valid. Plus, not to sound harsh, but I think getting tickets to solo stuff will be a lot easier than getting tickets to group stuff. Because
Of
it's
course,
like,
it makes sense.
but yeah,
It makes
like
sense.
there, of course, there will be stuff, and I'll say I'll have money. So when they come back, yeah, that will be a thing. But I just want to take a
Mm.
moment to talk about Weavers. I don't want to be throwing profanities, but I do really want to because oh my god, Weavers! I'll tell you. Do you know what? At what point did Weavers give up? It's streaming.
Like in
Guess.
11 minutes.
Close enough. After I think Run BTS, it died. Like middle of Run, it died. And then viewers did not come back. Okay, it kept trying, did not come back. Thankfully, it was being streamed on Naver now, which held on. Then there was Zepito, which is the what is that? It's the most nuggly thing. You have to have an avatar, and your avatar is watching the screen of sitting here in this like 3D room, and it only work. I don't know, it didn't work on the laptop. Only works on your phone,
Okay.
watching a screen. It's like a metaverse kind of a vibe. So then somebody was doing a Twitch stream of the JTBC airing, which was the TV airing, and that is what sustained most people. Never now would keep coming back, but we were still like I still kept all the tabs open just in case. But viewers was just like scroll. And then it just at some
No,
point
so
it
there
became
was
invalid. You
some.
couldn't even load viewers the website. Yeah, I think a lot of this entire, not just setlist, but their performance gave a lot of OG Bangtan, the rawness. I think
Yeah.
whether it was the set list, which is their energy. And of course, they talked about it in Yet to Come, where they're like going back to our roots kind of a vibe. But that's kind of what it felt like. That's the energy they were tapping into. But of course,
I
at
think
an
it was a mix
elevated
for me for
2022 level.
their energy from OG Bangtan, but a lot of their like elevation from Mott's one.
Yeah. So the energy is great, but like everything, but here, like everything is great. And like, what a way to do like your final group performance for before your
A
military
while, yeah.
enlistment. Like, that was
For the next
perfect.
970
Yeah.
days.
We'll be waiting.
Oh, I am so convinced that they have planned. This is planned. Okay, they laid out the calendar. They said, "Kab wapas aana hai?" And they said 13th June 2025. Or it's a Friday. Armies are gonna be free. We're gonna sit down and release another video, and it's or like do something. Something's happening that day. Mark your calendars and like take a screen recording because Zara said it first. Hopefully, I will be working remotely. That's my plan by 2025. I have hope to be working remotely, traveling a lot more, and I'll be in Seoul, ready to like welcome them home.
I will hopefully be in an MBA college and be getting done with it and have a job in hand and have an idea as to when I can attend the next concert. And hopefully, I will be in a location where they actually host a concert.
I hope you've had a great time watching these many episodes of us, and thank you for watching for the last several months. We will come back very soon. We're just taking a very short break. There will be more reactions, there will be more podcast episodes. We are still going to continue posting on our Instagram very frequently because there's so much more content we
Follow
have,
the Nuna
including
Talk.
giveaways. Yes, so please follow at NoonaTalk. In the meanwhile, subscribe so that you can be around when like the new episode comes back with season 2. Pew, pew, pew. If you have any ideas of what you want us to come back with or who you want us to be talking to next season, because we have some names in mind. I was Zara and I will be Zara in season 2 as well.
I was Sophia, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.